Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Oh, yeah. Welcome into another edition of Bitch and Moan Monday, as the Bucs have now lost for the sixth time in their last 7 games. Some of them are on Thursday, so we've had some Bitch and Moan Fridays too. But this should be an epic Bitch and Moan Monday after a third consecutive loss to a division rival and another listless, fireless performance by the Buccaneers. Nothing could be more apropos than the sweater or hoodie that Todd Bowles was wearing. Inspire change. And that your entire team inspired change. And your entire team will likely be changed when this season is over, especially the coaching staff. What a debacle. What a debacle. A 23-20 loss at Carolina. The score does not indicate what a shit show this was on so many levels. And we'll sit here and have fun dissecting the whole thing and enjoy your comments as well, because the comment lines is already loaded up. Good morning to you, Nick Geddes from On3 Sports, lifelong Buccaneers fan. Having enjoyed the tremendous Bucs retrospective for the last 50 years or that we've been enjoying, only to turn to Sundays and watch this crap show. That is, it's gotten ridiculous at this point.
Oh, it's full blown silly. Good morning to you. We're 3 days away from Christmas, but make no mistake, driving into Tampa today just I'm filled with nothing but sadness. The streets are rather empty because there's no school in session. Many people are not working.
I love that.
The Buccaneers have lost 6 of 7 football games, just adding to the fertility that we've seen. Yeah, and you know what makes it worse? 3 days ago came on this show and picked the Bucs to win in a rout. I did that.
You did.
I did that.
Why would you do that?
I don't even know why I would do such a thing. You know what I think, JP? You know what I think? I think because I like the Buccaneers, had plenty of time to prepare for this game and how I wanted to map it out, how I thought it was going to go. And I looked at the matchups. You know, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
You can look at, the strengths of the other team, the weaknesses of the other team, and you can sort of determine where you want to go with it. Yeah. And I said, you know what? The Bucs got all these playmakers on offense. The Panthers, they're struggling right now on defense. I mean, they have no pass rush to speak of.
Yeah,
worst in the league.
Backup left tackle
work in the league. Yeah,
you'll have a big day.
I'm like, listen, if we're just going off of who's more talented, who's got more guys, I'm going with the Bucs. I think they're going to win big. But apparently, Todd Bowles and the coaching staff, they had 10 days to prepare, and they felt a little differently about those matchups.
10 days to prepare, and that's what you got.
Yeah.
It looked like they didn't even practice, bro. That watching the All-22 was a little bit more revealing, obviously, a lot of different times. Key plays, we've got Tristan Wirfs looking at Baker Mayfield going like this right before the snap. And then what happens is they try to run a screen to the right, and the defensive player, number 11, is already there right in front of Godwin. He knows what's coming. They knew what was in every single play because it wasn't hard to figure out. When you run 9 times on first down out of 10, it's not hard to figure out what's going on. I mean, this was the most predictable play calling I've seen all year. And it makes me think that in this mini bye, that Todd Bowles said, you know what, Mr. Grizzard, I'll handle this. We're going to run the ball 30 times, and I don't care what it takes to get there, but we're going to run the ball 30 times. Bowles said it after the game. Baker said it before the game. If I'd have heard that number one more time, I was going to scream. So you go into the game saying we're going to run the ball 30 times. No matter what the flow of the game is, no matter what happens, we're going to run the ball 30 times. And I know that's not exactly how it works, but that was the goal. And explain to me why that is the goal. When you have all of your wide receivers finally back, it is clearly the strength of your team. And by the way, if you're going to forego a pass rusher in the first round and take an Emeka Egbuka, then you better effing use him more than twice, target him more than twice in a game like this. And maybe Mike Evans as well. And by the way, Mike Evans is not 100%. That was clear by watching the routes that he ran. But the bottom line is you have all your guys back. And you decide, now's when we're going to go to the run game, that since we have 2 backup guards and a center who's really struggling. Like, what effing sense does this make? You want to look at statistics and say, okay, every time somebody runs 30 times against the Carolina Panthers, they lose. I don't know if that's the number, but maybe it is. It has nothing to do with your matchup. Nothing. Your matchup is your matchup. And you have 2 guards that can't run block and can't pass block and can't pick up twists. They're terrible. And you have a center who's struggling right next to him. So what's your go-to when you're first and goal at the 5? I'm going to run the ball 3 times to the interior. In fact, on 3rd and goal from the 2, I'm going to take all my wide receivers off the field and compact it into about 11 yards and see if we can get a touchdown. Shocking development. Even with Vita Vea in there, you got no push. Just asinine play calling. And it felt like Grizzard was usurped. That's what it felt like to me. That Todd Bowles was like, we gotta minimize the exposure of my shitty defense. So whatever we do, let's keep the clock running. We don't care about explosives. Hey, why don't we throw the ball down to Egbuka late in the game? Oh, look at that. We just got 40 yards. Wow. How about that? Time and time again, you saw play calls that you just went, huh? What? You gave Baker Mayfield absolutely 0 chance to play in this game. And your wide receivers, 0. And you leaned on a running game that has an interior line that is complete trash. Nothing personal. You guys are not good. Michael Jordan, you're not good. Dan Feeney, you're not good. And unfortunately, our first-round center, Graham Barton, has regressed incredibly, regrettably. It's bad. They can't pick up any twists. That hurt them in key situations, any stunts up front. And defensively, how in the F? You, in that last possession before the half, you're playing soft zone and just allowing them to go down the field right before the half, like you always do. And then when they have no timeouts, that's when you decide to go 0 blitz and leave Jamel Dean on an island with Ted McMillan. With an easy, and you can see Bryce Young at the line changing the protection, going, okay, I see y'all coming. You know, I guess you're not going to check out of it. Okay. Just going to throw that up. And the lack of ferocity in which that blitz came, when you look at it, you know, McMillan's coming, you know, from 8 yards deep. The 2 linebackers, it's like, here I come. I'm coming at you. I'm going to hit the run. I'm going to get stood up in the gap. Oh, well, I guess they stopped me. I mean, that is the energy of this defense on every single play. Nobody's fighting to get off a block. Nobody's hitting anybody. Nobody's coming up with an attitude. It's like I see Hassan Reddick come out of his stance, run into the offensive tackle and just hold himself there and look. Oh, let's see what's happening here. No movement on his hands to try to get around a guy. Nothing vicious or ferocious. It's just, And then on one play, I think I saw him do that, and the ball was checked down to the middle, and Servassier Dennis had the player stood up. So what did Hassan Reddick do? Did he run in and try to knock the ball loose? No, he tiptoed over and just made sure Servassier laid him down by himself. No secondary hit to get the ball out. Just no aggression whatsoever. The entire defense just plays like they're just trying not to get hurt. And that includes Levante David. I have never seen Levante David play like this. There was the reverse. He flows to the ball, and it feels like, I'm not going to get there. I might chase him, I might not. That he broke cut back. I could have probably got a shot in from behind and stripped the ball, but I wasn't really running after him, so I guess I can't do that. Lavonte David? Lavonte David is loafing? Like, really? This is what it's become? I mean, you want to talk about a lack of fire and inspiration? Inspire change? Yes, please. Mike, there's so this looked like a team that hasn't practiced in 10 days. And they probably got most of those 10 days off. Let's just be honest. I saw Ben Johnson yesterday do his post game with the Bears. It was freaking awesome. The energy, it was awesome. And you know what he didn't say at the end of that? See you Wednesday.
Yesterday, and I've been very hard on Mike Tomlin and the Steelers after they won their third consecutive game following the whole fire Tomlin chants. Mike Tomlin after the game said, "We're coming in tomorrow and we're going to watch tape. We don't got time for Victory Monday."
That's right. That's right. And we don't either because we don't have Victory Mondays anymore.
That's true.
No. I just, look, so there are things that happened in the game that you just say, okay, guys didn't make plays, and we've seen that for weeks. But the lack of inspiration, the absolute collapse of any fire or desire on this team, they've quit. It looks like to me they have quit. I see nothing from this team that tells me they want to make the playoffs. They want to go deep into the playoffs. Even the post-game interviews were just very like blah, blah, blah. This felt like many of the teams that I've covered in the mid-aughts that were 5-11. And maybe that's what this team is. Given those magical wins they had at the beginning of the year, boy, if they don't get those, this is like a 3-4 win team.
Yeah.
It's dreadful. It's dreadful. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, to your point about how it looks like they've quit, I hate saying that someone quit or that somebody is soft. They always say it's like the worst thing you could say, the biggest indictment you can have on a football team. So I hate to go that far, but it looks like a way to put it is they've accepted their fate and they've realized that it doesn't matter what we do. There's nobody else, coming here to save us. We just are what we are, and we're not going to win. I shouldn't say you're not coming here to save us. Nelson got hurt early in that game, and all of a sudden you're at a spot where it's like, oh shit, you have to actually rely on this 36 this fossil who hasn't played football in 2 years. And I think he got like 12 snaps, didn't do anything, literally made no push whatsoever, which to be expected. He's 36 years old and played football. Before the half is what bothered me the most, I think, about yesterday. Before the half. And there's a lot of things that bothered me, but the Bucs got the ball back with, I think, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. And you're thinking if there's ever a time for them to put their foot on the pedal and try to be aggressive and go down and get 6, now's the time.
Yeah.
And I think they ran it on first down. Of course, they ran on 17 of 22 first downs yesterday, by the way. 17 of 22 first downs.
And how many play action passes did we see? I don't think there was one.
I actually counted one in the third or fourth quarter, but you know what it was? It was a play action rollout to throw a little crossing route to Tez Johnson 2 yards above the line of scrimmage, and he got tackled immediately. That was your play action call.
No.
Nothing down the field, of course.
Of course not.
Can't go down the field. There's no reason, based on what you've seen with the Carolina Panthers this year, there's no reason.
Oh, my God. They're such a good pass defense
down
team.
The field.
Yes.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Wow.
But they run the ball on first down, and then there's no urgency to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. They just accepted it.
How about that?
We're just gonna let the clock roll down to 2 minutes. Who cares?
I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Who cares? It's a disaster. They end up going 3 and out. There's a penalty by Luke Gedeke, which was the theme of him yesterday.
Yes.
His 4 penalties, 3 accepted. The false starts it's insanity at this. Carolina gets the ball back, and to your point, the Bucs go into their soft shell mode, and clearly they're just trying to protect for a field goal. Fine, whatever. But with 12 seconds left, and it's third down, I think it was, of course they're going to the end zone. I think everybody knew they're going to take a shot at the end zone.
Well, they had no timeouts.
Right.
So they can't throw the ball within the field. So you're going to throw either the ball to that call Yes. Was I asking Todd Bowles after the game last week, why don't you stay more aggressive in those situations? Not that situation.
That wasn't the time. That wasn't the time. And to the point, if you're going to bring the house,
they're already in field goal range.
The way it was designed made no sense to me because Antoine Winfield has been so good throughout his career being that sort of blitzing safety coming from, around the line of scrimmage. Antoine Winfield was like 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Yeah.
And so were the two linebackers. They weren't mugged up in the A gap.
If you just do the simple math here, Antoine Winfield's got to run 7 yards to the line of scrimmage, got to get through, and then also cover another, 6 or 7 yards to get to Bryce Young because he was in shotgun. You're asking him to cover almost 15 yards of space in 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Before that ball's coming out over the top of McMillan?
Yeah.
That's not happening. If you're going to bring Antoine Winfield on that play, he's got to be on the line of scrimmage to have any sort of impact on it.
But the situation, even if you get a sack there, you're not knocking them out of field goal range. They're at the 22-yard line.
Right.
Fitzgerald still has range to make it. So why are you blitzing in that situation? You shouldn't
call the play anyway.
Even if you get a sack.
If you're going to call the blitz, let's commit to actually calling a blitz that could work.
Right.
You just called the blitz just for the sake of a blitz.
Like you couldn't have asked for any better situation if you're the offense.
Right.
Oh, and they had plenty of time to bring in extra blockers. And you could see from the snap, there's no way you're getting home.
Yeah.
Call it off.
Yeah. And even then on the play, I don't know what Jamel Dean's doing.
My God.
I can't make sense of that. Jamel Dean's played so well all year. I don't know what he's doing there.
Well, he's in good shape. Just make a play on the ball. And make a play on the ball.
When he turned, he just looked a bit slow. Just turning.
Exactly. Yeah, he looked slow.
And McMillan toasted him, and Bryce threw a beautiful ball.
It was a beautiful ball. But he wasn't even harassed. It was just such an easy touchdown and a horrible call.
Yeah. It made no sense.
And why weren't you blitzing leading up to that? Like there was a play, two plays before where the Bucs, it was 2nd and 10. Like they got a tackle for loss on the first play. Morrison came up and made a tackle for loss. It's 2nd and 10. And you go rush 4, not even close to the quarterback as usual. And you guys back up 15 yards. You allow Leggett to catch a ball 8 yards down the field. And as he catches it, there's nobody near him. Yep. They're both 5-6 yards deeper than that. They're already giving up a first down. This is with 30 seconds to go in a half. And then Morrison comes up and Parrish both come up and they miss the tackle and he gets 12 yards. A free 12 yards.
Yeah.
Like there was no pressure on the quarterback, no tight coverage, no nothing.
Yeah.
No blitzing at that point. If you're that would have been a good time to blitz because if he gets the sack, he's out of field goal range.
Yeah, but these things,
none of this makes any sense.
None of it makes sense. But I will say this: we shouldn't be expecting anything differently defensively at this point in the season. And all things considered, if you walk out of that game giving up 23 points, in a way, I take that as a win.
You should win.
You should win. I mean, even the first drive of the game where Carolina went right down the field, you held them to a field goal, and I was like, I'll take it. Right. I will take it.
Right.
So to me, this is less about the defense. This is everything to do with the offensive game plan yesterday. And like we said, you had 10 days to put this game plan together. 10 games or 10 days. Yeah. And I, for the life of me, can't understand what the plan was here to just try to establish the run and all this stuff about controlling the clock and none of that stuff. It's about putting points on the board.
It was like the best 1987 game plan of all time.
And by the way, were the Bucs... I know the stat sheet is going to say what? The Bucs ran for 169 yards on 33 carries. Let's be honest with ourselves.
50 of that was Baker.
50 yards of that is Baker Mayfield scrambling. 39 of that is Rashad White on one run. We got 39 yards. The rest of it was just giving it to Bucky up the middle, and he was just plowing for 3 yards?
Yeah, most
he
of the time.
3.7, and that's been Bucky all year.
Yeah,
they're writing Bucky Irving like you have the Bucky Irving of last year that was more explosive, and you're also acting like you have the offensive line you had last year in front of you, and you don't have it, and yet you've been preaching about how we're going to get our guys back and we're gonna turn up. It's like, what's the point of having Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, Emeka Egbuka, and Chris Godwin and all these pass catchers on the roster if that's going to be the game plan? You just refuse to attack down the field whatsoever. Baker's average depth of target was 4.0 or some shit.
Unbelievable.
At the half. It's like before he threw the pick at the end of the game, I didn't even really know how to evaluate Baker's play yesterday because what was he even asked to do?
He wasn't asked to do anything.
He wasn't asked to do
It was
anything.
almost like you had a backup rookie in there.
Right.
Yeah. And this is, you're going to throw screens and check downs all day long.
Exactly.
And hand the ball off. That's what you're going to do.
And I understand Baker has not played well since week 6. We all acknowledge that. But this is not the time to sort of, okay, well, we're going to try to hide him.
Yeah.
And we're going to go hide our defense. It's like, we're just putting our hands behind our back here and trying to go into a fist fight. That's what that felt like yesterday, except the Bucs were just resigned to the fact that they had nothing to offer yesterday. It was so bizarre. And then, coming out of half, I heard the halftime quotes and Todd's like, no, I actually think what we're doing is working. We're gonna continue running the football. We're gonna control the clock. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Man, at some point you gotta scrap that crap. Yeah. It wasn't going to plan. You were losing at halftime. It's time to switch that up, and nothing changed in the second half. Nothing changed whatsoever, and that's so indicative of what they've been under Todd Bowles. Stubborn, their own arrogance, in their own way, and a refusal, denial to change. And that yesterday was a summation of it. Perfect.
100%. And listen, make no mistake about it. The Glazers know damn well that if this team doesn't make the playoffs, Todd Bowles is fired. There's no way.
At this point, I don't even care if you make the playoffs. Does anybody want to sign up for another year of this?
No. It looks like an incredibly poorly coached team. I mean, what is he giving you? You have maybe the worst defense in football, and you haven't had major injuries on that side. This is a defense that at one time was playing pretty well.
You got the worst defense relative to talent. I can explain to you why the Bengals aren't good on defense because they have no talent. I can explain to you why the Cowboys aren't good defensively, why the Jets have no interceptions the entire season. Those are easy to explain. I'm not going to say the Bucs have Super Bowl talent on their defense, but there's more to work with than other teams have here for it to look this bad.
Yeah, no question. It's just watching the game at first blush, I was dumbfounded at the game plan on both sides.
Yeah, and it became crystal clear that Todd Bowles was meddling with the game plan.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are on Grizzard, and I'm not saying what he's doing is monumental or even good this year, but he's had a lot of shit to work with. I mean, he's had all these injuries along the offensive line. I thought he did a great job in the first part of this season going 6-2 with all those injuries on the offensive line. You knew it was going to catch up eventually. We certainly weren't fooled into thinking that, what we were hoping was, hey, get these guys back and you might have a shot in the second half with this manageable schedule. But what's happened is they've just regressed since the bye. And by the way, as we remember the bye where you got the whole week off, it's one of my biggest problems with Todd Bowles is he's a player's coach and he constantly gives these guys time off. And listen, if you guys are executing and playing well, that's fine. When you're playing like this, it's garbage. It's garbage. I would have them in there every minute the CBA allows me to have them in there. And it also looks like to me that, frankly, these guys have no confidence in the coaching staff whatsoever. This looks like a team that's like, man, okay, you really want us to do this? This is what we're going to do? Okay, we'll go out and do it. And they're just playing. They're not playing with any conviction whatsoever. They have no conviction. I saw there were plays where, Rashad White is flaring out near the goal line, and Baker just locks in on Mike making a slant, and he's wide open. And Rashad's in the flat just going, yo, bro, like, I'm here.
Well,
even there's nobody near me.
Even on the interception, on that play, clear miscommunication, obviously, between Mike and Baker.
Right.
But even on that play, I'd make an argument that ball shouldn't even be going in Mike's direction, because if you look at that play, I know it's easy for us. We're not in the middle of it. As Baker said yesterday, these are decisions that are happening in a millisecond.
Exactly.
So it's easy for us to say this. But when you go back and look at that tape, K. Dotton's running free and he's got his hand up.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin is also springing free about 5 yards beyond him.
Yeah. On
that side of the field. But Baker's locked in on Mike the entire way.
Yeah. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
Now Mike's open too. Mike's open on the cross. If Mike continues to run, he catches that ball. It's probably a 35-yard gain.
Maybe.
He's open. So let's not say he was covered because he wasn't. He was moving into an area, and he was open by about 3 yards. And what you can't really see from the up high angle is Baker. I think it's Graham or somebody in front of him who's engaged with a defensive player. So as Mike is crossing, he's open, and he can see Mike looking at him, and he's open. So he goes to throw, and he lets the ball go, but his vision is obscured by the guy in front of him. So when he went to throw the ball, he did not see Mike stopping and going back the other way. He just assumed Mike was going as his, and this is what happens on every single play in the NFL. You see a guy coming open, he's probably going to flash. There's going to be some protection in front of you, and you're going to lose him for a second, but you have to anticipate that he's going to be on the other end, and that's what he's anticipating. He stopped when going to the scramble drill, and
I think that's what honestly, I think that's what happened.
That's a no blame interception.
I think Mike saw what was happening in the pocket, and he thought Baker was going into scramble mode.
Yes, of course.
And so
Baker was escaping to the right. So what do you do if he escapes to the right and you're going to the left?
Yeah.
You turn around and go back to the right. So that's what was happening. We've seen a gazillion great plays happen out of this scramble drill. And it's just bad timing. That's a no blame interception. People want to blame Baker for that one. No. In my opinion, no. If you've played quarterback, you know how that works. And no, it's just just happens.
It's hilarious to me, though. The irony of the whole thing was that they were trying to hide. It's like they were trying to hide Baker Mayfield from the entire game and treat him like he was a preschool player going in a high school game or something. And because of those decisions, you put yourself in a situation where late, all of a sudden, that game plan you had all game long in the last 2 minutes, you had to completely flip it then. And you had to have Baker Mayfield try to go win you a game when it wasn't what you were doing
all game long.
Right. The irony of it is just, it's fascinating to me that's how it turned out. And even honestly, if that pass doesn't happen and they complete it to Mike, the way the clock was going, the Bucs were playing for a field goal.
Right.
Of course they weren't playing to get a touchdown and win the game and try to be aggressive. The clock was the clock was moving like it was like what going to be like 30 seconds after that probably.
Yeah.
They were playing for a field goal.
No, they were. Yeah, of course they were. No sense of urgency.
No, none.
And you just look at the day in its entirety, and it very much, in my opinion, reflects the coaching staff, their personality, their whole vibe. We're going to let every kickoff go into the end zone and bring it. We capitulate. We white flag on kickoffs.
Well, we're going to allow you to
give you the ball at the
35.
Yeah. We're not going to try to. We suck at it. Instead of firing the special teams coach like the Rams just did in the middle of the season.
The 11-4 Rams.
The 11-4. Instead of firing our special teams coach, we're not going to fire our buddy. We're going to keep doing this shit and just wave the white flag.
We like our guys.
We like our guys. And so we're just going to wave the white flag. And we're also going to put knuckleheads out there that headbutt other guys in key situations.
John Bullock.
Get the fuck. My God. I'm going to headbutt somebody. Just so, because it's not like field position is going to be important in this particular drive. And let's just remind you that the kick returner doesn't come up and field the fucking ball. I mean, and try to get good field position. Everything about this is just capitulation and white flag. Oh, we're not going to try to throw the ball downfield and use our strengths, Baker Mayfield. And by the way, you can use your wide receivers even if you don't have great protection. You don't have to have 7-step drop protection every time. You can still use your wide receivers with aggressive route combinations, get the ball out quick, but use your guys. Those wide receivers should have had 50 targets yesterday. They had 21 total, I think, for the wide receivers and 31 total rushes.
And can I remind you, the Carolina Panthers are not a good football team. They stink.
And they're depleted along the defensive line.
They stink. I don't care that they're 8-7. They stink. And you acted so scared to attack them.
I know. So you capitulate on kickoffs, all right? And we're gonna go away from the strength of our team, the quarterback and the wide receivers, and just run the ball with our bad offensive line. Okay, and more capitulation because we want to shorten the game because we're playing against this explosive offense. The Carolina Panthers, whose quarterback can't throw for 200 yards a game ever. And then we're going to play a lot of soft zone and rush 4. Everything about what the Bucs did yesterday was conservative, give up, everything except for one. play. And then when we went casino blitz at 12 seconds left in the half or whatever it was. That's the only time we got aggressive all day when you shouldn't be aggressive. What the hell happened to this team? It is bad, bro.
It's got to be studied how in the, I mean, they were 5-1 and 6-2. Like what, 3 games up in this division, this horrible division that doesn't deserve to host a playoff game. And somehow they piss that all away and they sit here at 7-8. I honestly I can't believe it. I know people say like, oh, this isn't surprising. No, I actually am. I really am, because this year was about building to getting to the next step. That's what this all was. And somehow they have managed to go completely backwards, and they have managed to make the situation, in my opinion, untenable. And I just feel like there's no other way you can argue this. I don't care if it's the players. I don't care if it's Todd Bowles. I don't care if it's the coaching staff. I don't care who's the most to blame. What I know is that this situation has become untenable. Like I said, there's no way you can run it back with the same head coach. There's no way you can run it back with the same coaching staff.
No way.
That's doing a disservice to everybody that is involved in this operation, that's getting paid big money to make these decisions and run this team. And for those who are paying money, by the way, to sit in these stadiums and to watch this crap every single week. It's a disservice to everybody. You can't run it back with this. And at this point, I don't know what it would take for me to be like, yeah, I'm okay with this coming back next year.
No, you can't. You can't. What are you going to, how many tickets are you going to sell? And I know a lot of, they're smart. They make all the season ticket holders and suite holders ante up earlier in the season before the Bowls mid-season swoon. smart decision. But no, I mean, anything else? Will there be any excitement about this team?
It's almost like, it's like, I don't know, like, did they not handle the success well? Like, is that a part of this too? Like, because when they were 5-1 after they beat Seattle, not just people like us that are that are here in Tampa. Everybody
right? Baker
outside
for
was
MVP.
Baker for MVP, Ibuka for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I myself was talking about Todd Bowles being a Coach of the Year candidate for what he was doing at that point in time. They got all that praise and everything, and they just completely wilted underneath it.
Well, as we've said, and the great Tom Brady told us all this, teams evolve as the team goes through the season, right? What happens early in the year is not as much about, I mean, you want to win games, I get it, but it's finding out who you are, what you do best. Other teams are learning about you and what you do best and taking that away. So it's this constant evolution of a team to get better and better and better and better as the season goes on, accentuating your strengths, hiding your weaknesses. And all of this is coaching. All of this is coaching. You got to see who's available. That's why it's a week-to-week league, and make those adjustments. Does this coaching staff engender any confidence in that way that they're going to come up with some great game plan? At what point this year, even when they were winning, did you go, oh, boy, that was a great game plan? They had a great game plan against that. They did this. They did X, Y, and Z. No, it was Baker making magic at the end of the game, the defense coming up with a couple of plays here and there, and they were, getting by with some miracle wins. Hell, we let the Texans score and came back and won a game.
Yeah, it wasn't sustainable, but you thought that with everything that was in place, they'll figure it out. And as they get guys back, it'll start to look different. Well, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. It's getting worse. Honestly, I don't even know if it's getting worse. I just think it's been the same thing. Every week it's the same thing. I don't think they're getting better. I don't think they're getting worse. It's just the same thing. And the idea that the last 4 football games they've played, I mean, they hold on to beat the Cardinals, who haven't won a football game since like early October, right? And then you lose to the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers in back-to-back weeks. I mean, come on. The Bucs are lucky they play in Tampa Bay, because if they played in a big market, this would be like the biggest story in the league, is this downfall that you're seeing right now.
What a collapse.
What a collapse.
What a collapse.
Instead, nobody's talking about it because it's not worth talking about.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
And when you're irrelevant, that's the worst thing you can be in any endeavor.
And you think the Glazers want to sign up for being – the Glazers don't like being irrelevant.
No, they do not.
They do not like being irrelevant.
No. It's if you think in any way, if your opinion is that Todd Bowles could survive a non-division win, I don't think you have a very good pulse of what's going on with this franchise, or have any idea what the Glazers, I won't even say it. Bowles saw his defense is so dog shit that he tried to control time of possession. This is from Bucs Basement. Just get rid of him. The team has reached their ceiling, and these paper division titles can't save him now. 100% correct. Todd was playing not to lose, says Rick. All those wide receivers healthy and available, and you held Baker back. It's 5-2 all over again. Kenneth says, I'm not thinking about yesterday's game. My question is, with Mike Evans being a free agent, do you think he may look to go to a place that's more poised for a Super Bowl? Yes. I think there is a disillusionment among the players right now with this coaching staff. Now, if the Bucs are going to make changes, I think Mike would consider coming back. He's not coming back to this. No way. Why would you? Why would you? As much as Mike loves the Bucs, they listen. I hate to say I told you so. Well, actually, I don't. You know that, people. I love to say I told you so. And I told you last year, elevate Liam Cohen, let Todd Bowles go. And everybody told me, oh, he's not proven himself yet. There's still some things we don't like about Liam. He turned out to be a snake. All you people were so upset about how he handled his business. Would you take him back now? All you people that were so mad about how Liam handled his business, he's a snake in the grass. Would you take him back now as your head coach? Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
It's kind of amazing, too, when you look at the head coaching market, too. Not to get too ahead of myself and act like this thing is set in stone, even though I think it should be. But this coaching cycle this year also is not the one it was last year. Not even close. Not even close. Last year gave us Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, and Mike Vrabel in one off season. And none of those guys are out there this year.
Nope. Where are they? Winning divisions.
Yeah. Sitting atop their conferences.
Woo! Wow. Captain K says, I asked that question because, wait, where is the question? It was a good one.
Oh, he was talking about Mike
Evans, yeah. Yeah. He won't stick around for this mess. Why would you? Michael LaRue says, rumor is if Bucs win the NFC South, then Bowles is safe. I can't imagine the Glazers watching this and saying, yeah, that's sell the fans another year of Bucs football with this Bowles-Grizzard combo. Listen, they fired Tony Dungy for making the playoffs and having a much better record. Because, listen, I covered that team. I was there for the rise and the fall. And listen, as much as I hate to say it, there was an inevitability about Tony. Like, he just couldn't get the offense right. He just couldn't. And it was a struggle. And at some point, you just, you've got to make a change. So, yeah, it's within, there's precedent for this. So, yeah, and Bowles was not nearly as good, didn't have nearly as good a record, doesn't have nearly as good a record. So, no, I think it's absolutely possible and likely. If they win this division, and they could. Yeah.
And I want to give Jason Licht the opportunity to hire another head coach, because Jason Licht has been here for 11 years now, going on 12. Jason Licht's only hired one head coach. He didn't hire Lovie Smith.
He hired Bruce Arians.
I don't think he hired Dirk Cutter either. I think that came from the Glazers.
Yeah.
He hired Bruce Arians for sure, and that was a hit, and that set everything in motion for what this era became of Buccaneer football. And then obviously Todd, he had no option but to hire Todd at that point.
Yeah, that was
so he's hired one coach in 12 years, and he hired a coach whose name is on the stadium. So I would be looking forward to Jason Licht being able to hire another head coach of his own.
I would agree with that. John Hill said, would you rather Bowles and Baker, or Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen? Is that even a question?
I just want whoever's paired with Liam Cohen.
Yeah, exactly. To Trevor Lawrence, I don't take Trevor Lawrence over Baker Mayfield necessarily.
I mean, he's doing exactly what Baker was doing last year with Liam Cohen. Yeah, he's playing fantastic right now, but who's the common denominator?
Mm-hmm. Formerly known as Jeff B says, Bowles and company know they're out, so they just trolled us yesterday. It kind of felt like that. Like, I'm not going to lie. That went through my head. When he blitzed in that situation right before the half, I was like, Was that? Yeah, y'all want me to blitz? Watch this.
Yeah, it's him basically trying to show you that, listen, it's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's them. I'll call the play you want, and you're going to see the outcome, and that's me telling you there's a reason why I'm not doing it, because I don't think they can do it.
Well, it was poorly executed, so you are right there. But that's a terrible call at that time. You don't do it there.
It was the same thing where later in the game, or before that, or maybe later, they went to another high leverage situation, and they called man across the board, and Benjamin Morrison got beat by Jalen Coker. Another beautiful ball by Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And it was probably Todd going, you wanted me to go to man. You've been asking me to go to man, and look what happened.
But
we get
again,
beat over the top.
Listen, when you make a perfect throw and a tough catch, tip of the cap.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens.
It's tip of the cap. It doesn't mean the call was wrong. But, man, yeah, but the offensive game plan. No, it does feel like Bowles said, listen, and it's like maybe a few games ago, I'm done with the game management coach. I'm done with everybody. I'm going to do this my way. And if I go down, at least it's going to be my way.
The truth of the matter is,
that's what it feels like.
The truth of the matter is, to the Bucs defense, and there's so many issues over there, is their 4-man pass rush sucks. It's got to be the worst in football, probably right next to the Carolina Panthers, to be honest with you. The worst. And because they have no 4-man rush, they have no answers anywhere. And because they're so unathletic at linebacker, there's no answers anywhere. And so we all point at the secondary, and they got to play better, but the guys up front aren't doing anything. I mean, Yaya Diaby yesterday against that backup left tackle, sure, Yaya was getting pressures. He's pushing that left tackle back.
A backup left tackle.
But the guy's got no move to get off the tackle. Right. Like, he pushes the tackle back, but he never makes a move to get off and go get the quarterback.
Doesn't disengage.
He doesn't disengage.
Yeah.
Reddick, I don't even know what he's even doing. He got hurt again yesterday. I mean, there's just nothing there.
Did you see, by the way, did you see him get hurt and walk off the field? It was almost like a fake limp. It was seriously. I'm like, I am done with that dude. Man, I listen.
He won't be back.
I capitulate. I totally admit that dude snowed me. He snowed me. I fell for him hook, line, and sinker. All his great press conferences, and even watching him move in training camp and early in the season, I was like, this guy's playing well. He is completely like, I got to go get another contract. I ain't getting
Since
hurt.
He's come back from the injury he had against New Orleans, he ain't done nothing.
Oh, he's totally playing not to get hurt. You can just see him. He won't put his legs in harm's way. He is totally playing not to get hurt. But what do you got? What are you going to do? Give more reps to JPP? That's going to be the epitaph of this season. That is going to be the symbol of this entire season. Bring it in. I love him to death.
Wearing that disgusting number 91 jersey. Good Lord.
It's untucked.
he looks a little chubby. Yeah.
It's like, hey, yeah. Yo, you come here. I think we need you to play some. Here, put this on. Go out. And just like nothing. That's so embarrassing.
Well, I watched him. He was on the field for 12 plays, and every time I watched him on the replays, I was like, he's not doing anything.
Did you see I think the second play was in, they dropped him in coverage.
Yes, of course. Of course. They had to drop him into coverage. It's like when you come up the Bucs, it's almost like your initiation. You have to drop into coverage first.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm getting a little lightheaded. I got my back brace
Honestly,
on.
I'm glad that we're laughing.
I'm getting a little lightheaded
because we're at that point now where it's like apathy. Apathy has set in.
Comical.
It's comical.
Dude, they could lose to the Dolphins. And they're literally trying to get a better draft pick. They lost to the Bengals 45-20 yesterday. They skipped over their second string quarterback. They go to their third. Quinn Ewers, who didn't play, threw a couple picks yesterday, but I didn't see the game, but just looking at the numbers. But they want to lose.
Right.
So who wins next? Who loses next week? Who's better at losing? Wow. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and get some more of your comments because I know you guys want to sound off. I'm going to try to read every one of them today, so hang in there, folks. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. If you're involved in an accident, call the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group. They'll give you a free case evaluation. Just go to the website, Email them. Genesis of Tampa, man. What a cool thing going on in December, folks. Got a few days left of this. If you buy a car in December, the first 3 payments, no payments. And the fourth one, they're going to make. So 120 days, you don't have to make a payment on that new car. So you can use all that money for Christmas shopping. It's not too late. 3 days left, folks. Get on it. It's the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. And they're also giving away a $500 shopping spree every single day. If you have your car appraised or take a test drive, they'll 10X your entries. So get on over to Genesis of Tampa and get in that gift giving and car buying mood. Back in 3. At Genesis of Tampa, they got some serious ho going on this Christmas. It's the Miracle Holiday Sales Event and their 30 days of giving. First, for any new vehicle in the month of December sold, first payment will be deferred 90 days, and then the dealership will make the first payment up to $500. That can save you a lot of cash that you can use for Christmas shopping. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you got to do is have your car appraised, and you get an entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. And every weekend day in December, customers simply need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code, and they get an entry into the $500 shopping spree contest. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and we will 10X your entry into the shopping spree. Christmas and New Year's Eve, each holiday, if a customer books a test drive for the specified day, they will receive a themed t-shirt, limited edition, as well as an additional $250 off the purchase price. Bottom line is, get your butt and your sleigh down to Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off 275. It's going to be a big Christmas at Genesis of Tampa. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we roll on. And don't forget, last-minute shoppers, the Golden Diamond Source is open and ready for you today. Just head on over there. It is so easy. You folks to walk in, tell them what your budget is, tell them what you're buying for, what you're looking for, and they'll say, come on over here. And the place looks great. It's decorated. It's a fabulous vibe going on in there. And you just say, oh, that looks good. And they know all the trends, so that helps you as well because you guys don't know what the hell you're buying, right? And then they buy it, they wrap it up for you, they give you a great deal, it's great value. What more do you want? It's the Golden Diamond Source. If you're thinking about getting engaged, go ahead, pull the trigger right now. 0% financing for 5 years means you can get a $5,000 diamond for just $84 a month. It's a no-brainer, guys. If you're just confused and you don't want any hassle, head right on over to the Golden Diamond Source. Bring your credit card over there, get a great deal, and get it wrapped up for you. It's a no-brainer. Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Homerton Road, about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa. Just head right over the bridge. Easy. By the way, Orestes Destrade is going to join us in the last half hour. We're going to break down all the Rays moves and Rays trades. Nick loves it. You're very high on these.
I thought it was a big day for the Rays on Friday. Yeah, big day.
They didn't lose anything in my estimation that they can't easily replace.
Me neither.
So, Brandon Lowe, we've talked about this for a while. 31 home runs. He was great last year, but now he's going back to play in the Trop where he's been chronically injured playing on that hard concrete surface. I know they're getting a new surface, but, is it going to be much better than anything they've had? Like, you're selling at a high level. You got a lot of good prop players in return, and they're not done dealing. I think Ketel Marte is definitely in play. If not him, somebody else. But we'll let Orestes and Nick knock this out of the park here in a little bit. But I think what they did was good. And by the way, the Lightning had a hell of a win Saturday night. They were down 3-0 to Carolina and came roaring back. A really, really good win, something that they needed because they had lost, 4 in a row at home. They've been on a bit of a skid. They needed those 2 points big time.
The best team in the conference, too.
Yeah. I mean, to come back from 3-0 in that moment and get where I'm just like, hey, maybe we can get a point out of this. And then to get 2, the defense is playing, obviously going down 3-0, you don't want that. It was just a bad sluggish start, got a couple of bad bounces and gave up. The penalty kill was bad for some reason, but they came back and they played really well in that second period and played well to finish it out. So we'll talk a little Bolts here in the second half of the show as well. But let's get to all of your comments here. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. Says the Christmas tree graphics are giving me a Mike Tyson tattoo feeling. Oh, did we switch? So hope you got your fill.
Switching them up here every segment.
I like that.
I don't know if I take that as a compliment or not, that I had the Mike Tyson tattoo going on.
I don't really. What coaches will be available when Bowles is fired? And who do you think the Bucs should get? A lot of talk of Clint Kubiak, Seattle OC, Chris Shula, the Rams DC.
I feel like Chris Shula is probably the best candidate, but he's a defensive head coach. So that means you got to hire an offensive coordinator. And I know that the obvious connection is, well, go get Nate Shieldhouse, who's also in that building, to call plays for you. That's true, but you're going to keep running into the same issue where if you have a really good offense, said offensive coordinator is going to keep getting hired away. So it feels like you have to go the offensive-minded route and figure out the rest of the stuff. Right now, Clint Kubiak feels like the best option that's available. After him,
Well, We'll see who emerges.
Let me just say this. The names that I've seen thrown out for all these other openings so far.
Mike McCarthy
doesn't really inspire me much.
No.
Matt Nagy, come on.
No.
And like I said, I don't think the Salahs, the Floreses, I mean, I'm sure those guys will get jobs or they deserve jobs, just not here.
I like Robert Saleh. I really do.
I do.
But I just can't do the defensive thing again. So if you could find a really good offensive play caller who could be your head coach and knows that works well with Baker, and a guy like that, say, I don't know, Liam Cohen, be great.
I had a name that came in my head, but I don't think it would work because I don't know if their relationship ended amicably or not.
What?
If he got fired, Kevin Stefanski. I don't know much about his relationship with Baker.
I think it's good.
If it's good or how that ended. But Stefanski, I feel like whether or not the Browns want to fire him, I feel like that's a guy that just needs a fresh start.
Something tells me that Baker was asked that at some point. I think, or I heard him saying some good things about Baker. I don't know. I'd have to research that, but I think it's okay.
I think there's a good coach in there. I just think Cleveland, I think he's exhausted by the whole situation.
I agree. Andre Aldese, was the interception Baker's fault or Mike Evans' fault? Either way, the Bucs should have won that game. Shaking my head. I just think it's a no-fault interception. I don't want to take, it's just one of those things that happens. He thinks he's going to keep going. Mike reads scramble drill, and that's what happened. So I don't think it was a bad read. I don't think it was a bad throw. I don't think it was a bad route. I mean, there are just times when these things happen. And I think that's my read on it. And Dan Orlovsky basically said the same thing. He broke down the play on Twitter. I retweeted it. He said the same exact thing. I saw a couple of different quarterback analysts say the same thing. So that's where I land on that. Andre Allday also says the Bucs have to make sure a new head coach to replace Todd Bowles. Absolutely. I think we're all on that page. Zachariah Jarvis, you're new in here. The first time I've seen you. Thanks for joining us. Nice pirate ship avatar there. Like that. So this was a Todd Bowles game plan. Grizz had a part, but I think he was limited on what he can do because of Todd. At least that's what it made it seem like with his comment during halftime. I agree. I don't think there's any question about that. And that really brings up a lot more questions. Has Bowles just gone rogue?
He pulled rank on everybody in the building yesterday.
It kind of feels like
those halftime comments confirmed it to me. Like I was speculating maybe before watching it. Like I wonder if Bowles had a hand in this. To me, what he said at halftime.
Yeah, and after the game.
Agreed.
Pat says apparently Bowles doesn't want to accept that their best chance to succeed is to pass the ball. Well, that's because it exposes your defense. He says, but Grizz still sucks. I don't know. Listen, is he ready to be a great offensive coordinator? I'm going to say no, but I have a hard time really just throwing it on him for all those reasons we've mentioned. Andre Allday says Todd Bowles is Lehman Bennett in disguise. Wow. Also, Rick says 130-pound quarterback stiff-arming D lineman. Dude, that touchdown that he makes, I don't even think was it a blitz? I think it was a blitz. But they get to him. Logan Hall's got a shot.
Oh, God bless Logan Hall.
Yaya's got a shot, but at least he's got a 320-pound offensive tackle on his back.
He could have called the hold.
Oh, big time. There's a hold.
We're not in a position to be calling for refs.
I ain't blaming the refs, but man, that roughing the punter call, I mean, that's a no call. How do you freaking miss
Mike
that?
Pereira then comes on and says they were so focused on the hold, they weren't even looking at the roughing the punter.
There's 17 officials out there. Plus, I mean,
and that's the most obvious thing you could see, though. A hold is like you miss holes on every play. Like
it is the most obvious call in football. You have a punter who is typically isolated. There's no crowd around him, and a guy runs into him so hard that the guy buckles over while he's punting the ball. I mean, and then he says it's running into. No, that's roughing the kicker.
Yeah. That's
roughing the kicker. That's 15 yards and a first down. And I don't think it's even debatable.
Yeah. Even if they would have called it, I mean, did we really want to watch more running up the middle for 2 or 3 yards?
I get it, but just can we get it right?
I agree.
Dean Giusti says this team is an embarrassing clown show led by lead clown Todd Bowles. Getting a lot of that. Also says Bucs Skull Gang in house, says let's clean house. Nathan Elliott, good morning to you, said walk through Tampa Bay. That is what happens when players do not practice.
Yeah, they do love their walkthroughs, don't they? They love their walkthroughs.
What's the identity of this team? This team is a team that takes a lot of time off. Coach gives them a lot of time off. That's the identity of this team. A lot of soft practices, a lot of time off. I understand getting your team rested, but you also have to practice.
At this point, though, I don't know what they respond to. They don't respond to the practices. They don't respond to the coach publicly calling them out. They don't respond to the coach apparently calling them out even worse when he's standing in front of their face. They don't respond to their quarterback saying that every game going forward is a playoff game and we have to treat it like that. And they're all pro franchise left tackle being just completely despondent over what's happening. They don't respond to anything.
No,
it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
they don't respond to anything.
Tristan Wirfs wasn't like pointing fingers, but he was disgusted. He's disgusted.
Of course.
And that tells you something.
And Mike, the more I look at Mike is not like this, by the way, to be doing like Mike, even yesterday's body language, when it became clear that game was, this is not like Mike.
Did you see like when he caught the ball, like he was almost standing still? Like there was no real effort after the catch to desperately get more yards. I know he's never been a great yak guy, but it was almost like I caught it. Now come tackle me. It just looked weird. Anybody else see that? It kind of looked weird. I don't know. JM Lane the fourth says team is mentally done and gives us a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for that. That might pay for half of Nick's, or 1/3 of Nick's Starbucks coffee that he bought this morning. What's the total tab for you and Casey for two coffees at Starbucks?
We also added a cranberry bliss bar.
So. The cranberry that goes for $3.95, right?
About maybe $4.95.
Maybe $4.95. Very appetizing, satisfying.
I think it was like $17.
$17 for two coffees and a little dry, crispy cranberry.
Yeah, and I waited in a line that you couldn't get out of for about 30 minutes, and I almost was late this morning because of it.
I've quit the Starbucks thing long ago. Rick says, relax, JP. The scriptwriters are trying to set up a dramatic finish in Tampa. That's the thing.
Oh, God, please don't.
That's the thing.
Please don't put this game on Sunday Night Football on Week 18. Please. They won't, though, because this game was for first place in the division. They had a chance to flex this game, and they decided to bury it at 1 o'clock.
Well done,
NFL. But please, don't get any ideas. The nation and even we don't want to see this game be played again.
Palotini, Cafe Paradiso, my man, how are you? I've been trying to get him into the studio here to say all this stuff because he's so fun to chat with, but he sent us a note, so we'll read this whole thing. He says, by keeping Bowles, we have lost 2 good coaches in the last 3 years. Excellent point. Grizzard is a very weak play caller. Agreed. You need to emphasize on the Glazers that they are being effing cheap by keeping him. And he was one of the lowest 5 NFL coaches on payroll. We've been lucky that our division in the last 5 years is just a little above 500 to win it. Even this year, it might not happen again. Enough said. Spot on. I don't think the Glazers are cheap. I'm going to disagree with you.
I saw someone else comment that the Glazers are cheap, and they're not cheap. They're not.
This is not about money.
No.
They in fact, they extended Todd Bowles this past year, knowing full well that they could possibly fire him this year. Because listen, I'm here to tell you, and this is my opinion, based on it's an educational guess. Let's just say that educated guess that had they lost it last year, Bowles was fired. They were not going forward unless they made the playoffs. And even after losing the home playoff game, there was consternation. Trust me, they were not happy with Todd. That being said, they felt like, especially after Leon got that huge raise and Todd being one of the lowest paid head coaches, they went ahead and extended him. And that in no way will shape their feelings on firing him.
They extended John Gruden the year before they fired him.
Exactly.
And the Glazers make actions, but
they're not cheap.
They're not afraid to go back on
that. That is an old false narrative. Were they at one time? Yes. When they were buying Manchester United, Yes,
Yes,
they
as,
were.
as somebody says here, when it comes to Manchester United, they're really cheap. Trust me, I'm aware. But
Yeah.
Bucks, it's a little different.
No, they're when Brady was here, they spent lavishly on coaches and everything that he wanted. Everything he asked for, they said yes. They spent a lot of money on the stadium. No, I totally disagree with that. This is not a money thing. But everything else I agree with. Happy holidays, says Derek Gladson. I'm ready for the off season. There is no off season, my friend. We roll all year long. We cover everything. This is not just a Bucs podcast. Mostly during the football season, though. Stuart J. Levine says, disagree. Bowles blows. Grizzard blows. Disagree with what? We said Bowles blows. We didn't say it like that. That's disrespectful. Special teams coach sucks so bad we kicked the ball into the end zone. I agree with that. Listen, I think we've given Grizzard a little bit of a pass. And I think that's fair. Did the defense quit, asked Nathan Elliott, or did they just expect Baker Mayfield and the offense to bail them out? I think it's the latter.
Well, they didn't ask Baker Mayfield to do anything yesterday.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
It's like quit is a bad word, but listen, when you're not playing with your hair on fire, and clearly they're not, then to me that's a definition.
They
of quitting.
don't have another gear to get to that requires you to play. It's almost like, what it's almost like, JP? It's almost like playoff hockey. How you could be a great regular season team. Lightning went through this all the time before they finally got over the hump. You'd be a great regular season team, but when you get in the playoffs, there's got to be another gear that you can reach.
Yes.
This team doesn't have another gear. They do not have it in them. Even when they're playing at their best, it's not up to the level of being required to compete for a championship. They just don't have the killer. You keep saying the word killer instinct. It's true. They don't have it in them.
No, they don't. It's just not there. And that's a residue of the overall culture of this team and the coaching staff. Nathan Elliott says Baker can't run out and throw down the field. Not right now. He's still hurt. He did the same thing in Cleveland. Plays hurt, plays like trash, gets cut. He will not be offered $50 million. Listen, I think, and we'll get into this probably later in the week, but I think with Baker right now, you just stick with next year, $30 million, 33. He's already guaranteed it. No extension in the offseason.
No.
And you see where it goes next year.
Yeah. If he plays like this next year, then you have your answer.
Yeah.
And 2027's draft class looks fantastic on paper right now. Could always change, of course, but don't want to get too ahead of myself. But that's where you are right now. You evaluate this one more year. There's no need to give him an extension. We love him. He feels like one of us. But at the end of the day, it's a results-oriented business. Always will be.
Our newest viewer, Derek Latson, says you guys are cooking this morning. Recap is spot on. Thank you. Michael LaRue says, I've been patient with Grizzard, but I've joined the mob. The offense is predictable. There's no creativity, no shots downfield, no setup for surprise plays. And the red zone play calling has been brutal.
Oh, the red zone.
Woo, Lordy, that was bad. Those 3 plays from the 5 were just awful. Especially, and you just scored you scored a touchdown throwing to Mike.
Right. It's like,
and he's one-on-one out there again.
They went back to it later in the game too, and he couldn't come down with it. Again.
Mike didn't get his hands up.
Yeah, but the throw was fine. But the first time Baker threw a beautiful back shoulder ball, and Mike turned a low percentage play into a high percentage play because he's Mike freaking Evans. And but we've been saying this before. It's like you got all these guys out there. It's like, how can you not design something that we see other teams down there are able to get someone spring wide open?
Oh, lots of picks.
It just doesn't happen in this offense.
Listen, I'm not saying that Grizzard is good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving him an incomplete because I think Bowles is messing with him. That's clear yesterday. That wasn't Grizzard yesterday. I'm sorry, it wasn't. That was Bowles. So I'm not saying that, hey, let's extend him, but I'm giving him some grace. That's all. You guys, I think it's a fair criticism. Absolutely 100%. Formerly known as JB says, to think there are folks that said there's no need to fire Bowles now. Yeah, I don't get that. Play Blues Wolf says, bottom line, Bowles has lost the team and needs to be fired. Has he lost the team? Yes. This feels way different than last year. It feels way different than earlier in the season. Just by the demeanor of the players, especially the defense. Guys, go on YouTube and watch, pick any team any decent team that's headed to the playoffs, okay? Watch the level of speed and ferocity on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see what I'm talking about. And then, even if you want to flip back and forth and just go, it'll make you go, whoa. Like, whoa.
Yeah, the Bucs are slow.
Oof.
They are so slow on defense.
And not physical.
They have no redeeming quality on defense. None.
The linebackers are so bad. So bad. Greg DeCruz, hello to you this morning, says the end of half and end of game situational football is killing this team. Man, that is spot on. That is really spot on. We need to, in fact, Greg, I'm going to go into that a little bit more tomorrow, look at the last few games and see where this team has really fallen off. Before the half, the middle 8, 4 minutes before and after, and at the end of the game, where most games are won in the NFL, frankly, the Bucs have been brutal. And that's coaching, strategy, execution. It's all that, but a lot of that is strategy and game management. The good coaches really take advantage of it, and the bad coaches don't. It's a stark difference. All right, got a lot more comments to get to, so we're going to do that when we come back. We're also going to get to the Lightning. Orestes Destrade is coming in. We're going to break down the Rays in the last half hour. Talk a little college football too. There was some interesting games, huh? Somebody said Gedeke should be investigated. I think the Oklahoma punter should be investigated.
Yeah. By the way, I think interesting is not, I don't know if that's the right word to describe these games. Some of them, they weren't exactly interesting in my opinion.
The last two were not. And we kind of saw that coming, did we not? All right. We're brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. Get that Italiano Insurance checkup, folks. Make sure you have your business insurance. Make sure you have even though hurricane season is come and gone, we're going to have the rainy season. So you got to make sure you got that done as well. And just let them shop all your insurance needs and see if there's something that they could do for you there. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Stay with us. Holidays are the best time to get engaged because all the family's already together. And at the Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion jewelry. And there's plenty for men in their new men's section and watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. And don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift they'll never forget. They wrap it up nice for you. You don't have to do any of that, guys. And they have a great staff there. You may not know what to get your lovely wife or girlfriend, but they do. Let them do the work. Hey, finance your purchase for 0% interest for up to 5 years. You could get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. Don't go to the mall. Go to a local company and keep it local this Christmas at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Some love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Oh, I'll be making the meatballs and lasagna here in a few hours. Get ready for Christmas. And if you want great meatballs and lasagna, go over. You can't come to my house. Well, actually, you could. DM me. See how it goes. Cafe Paradiso. You can go there and sit down at their wonderful tables there with the white tablecloth and their incredible staff, and they'll come up to you all dressed up in their holiday wear. The place looks beautiful. It is an excellent place to bring family and friends for a great meal, traditional Italian at Christmas time. No better place. Cafe Paradiso, right there on South McDill, number 3 on the Open Table list as voted by all the diners. So check it out, Cafe Paradiso. Go to Open Table, get your reservation right now. Tell them JP sent you.
I almost forgot that Christmas is 3 days away. It's like sneaks up on you every year.
Yesterday, I kind of finally got in the mood. We were having breakfast, had the carolers out, the big tree and everything. It was beautiful. And it's like, I'm kind of getting a little Christmas vibe going.
I have not, I think I've told this to my family. I have not had a Christmas vibe, I feel like, since I went to college for the first time. Like ever since then, it's been like Christmas just is like, meh, whatever. And most of the time I work on Christmas because I'm covering NFL.
It's interesting.
So that day comes and I'm just worried about when I need to be in front of my laptop.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. But now everybody tells me, because now we're having our kid in February, that going forward, now Christmas will start to feel
it'll
different.
be different. It'll be different. Yeah, because, typically focusing on adults during Christmas is kind of weird. It's good. Listen, a great Cully and Shay are coming in, and we'll go to the hockey game tonight. By the way, Lightning Blues tonight. So go see some great hockey. So, yeah, we'll do the hockey thing and hang out. We'll make the meatballs and lasagna. These are traditions that we do. That's cool. We'll do a little shopping. Now that they're older, instead of getting them presents, I take them shopping so they can tell me what they want. So it's just it's a little different. It's a little different, no doubt about it. But I think it's just, for me, now that the kids are older, I got the step kids too, and they have everything. So it's hard to get them anything for Christmas. But it just all becomes so commercial at some point,
Yeah, and also the gifts I'm asking for now are a lot different than the gifts I used to ask for. Like,
most of it from Lowe's.
It was on my, I told Case to make a Christmas list, or she was asked to make a Christmas list by her parents. You know what she put on it?
What? Cash.
A phone charger, a step ladder, because we don't have a step ladder still, like a mop, like all of these, like just homey things, Amazon gift cards so we could buy more things for the home. Like somebody gave us an Amazon gift card she got from school. You know what I bought? You know what I bought with an Amazon gift card?
Batteries.
Trash bags.
Trash bags, right?
Because I looked under the sink and I said, we're almost out.
And with gift cards, you're supposed to buy something that you want, not something you need.
Right.
Brutal. All right, a couple more comments here. We got so many. Thank you guys for jumping in. Really appreciate that. At Climactic says, in the back of their minds, they know they can back their way into a divisional title, so there is no sense of urgency. This is an interesting take, because it is true that this team does play their best when their back's against the wall. And is losing 6 of 7, you would think like this past game was it, but it wasn't.
Still not over.
It's not over.
Did you want to know something too? There is a scenario that could play out where 3 teams finish 8-9 in this division.
And the Bucs go.
The Falcons can win out, which is very possible. If you look at the 2 teams they play, they'll be 8-9. If the Panthers lose
their last 2,
yeah,
because they're 8-7,
and the Bucs win one of these last 2 games, they lose Miami and beat Carolina at the end, you'll have a 3-way tie atop the NFC South, but the Bucs will go at 8-9.
And that's the reason not to fire your coach?
That might, you want to talk about inspire change? That might inspire change in the way the NFL does their playoff seeding.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Look up the NFC South's record outside their division. Just curious. John Curcio says, this team is far away from being good. Defense stinks. Offense unreliable. Special teams kicking can't drop it in, but Chase is terrific. Yeah, Chase is great. He's freaking what has he made? 18 consecutive kicks, 16, 18 kicks. And then he almost missed the 20-yarder.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. What a weapon. I mean, getting the ball at the 35-yard line, you figure you get 10 to 12 possessions a game, right? And you're gifted the ball at the 35 if you have any competency whatsoever in your special teams. Hold that number. Okay? And you have a kicker, if you get to the 40, 40, so that makes 57. So you get to the 35. So you basically get 30 yards. 2 or 3 first downs, and you're in scoring position. You should be scoring. You're almost gifted 24 points a game at that level, right? I mean, if you start doing the math, there's some just basic competency. It should be at like 20, 24 points. And you can't even get to that against the freaking Panthers, against the Saints. Wow.
These numbers I just found.
How much? Go ahead, give it to me.
This is over the last 3 years. 2-4 against the AFC North. 9-16 against the NFC North. 8-16 against the NFC West. 14-11 against the NFC East. 8-11 against the AFC South. 7-12 against the AFC East. 4-12 against the AFC West. And this is almost perfect. In the division, 37-37.
It's just mediocre.
Even in their own division. The division they just beat everybody.
They just
37-37.
Like nobody's really good. Nobody's like, you would think the Bucs are head and shoulders above everybody else because they keep winning the division. But actually, they're the same as everybody else.
Good Lord.
And this is what you would say, he's won 4 division. How can you fire him? You know, if they're afraid to fire Bowles because Ryan Clark is going to go bananas, get over it. Fire him based on the record. Greg says Bucs have 0 excuses not to score 30 points. Yeah. I mean, Jesus. Think about that. Do you think the players are playing like this because they want Bowles fired instead of Steven Soper? I think they like Todd, but I think they've tuned him out. And I think it's not like, we want to get him fired. It's like a roll of the eyes when the game plan comes out. And if you're not convicted, you can't win in this league. You just can't. You can't. I mean, it's just bad. Andre All Day says, as bad as the Bucs pass defense is, they did show up versus Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl 55. Bro, that was so long ago. I can't even remember it. I got to go watch the documentary just to remind me that we won that Super Bowl and the defense was good. Derek says, was it me or did it feel like uninspired defense? No, bro, that's exactly what it looks like. Never had a chance so far. Those Glazers look like clowns letting Cohen go. They really do right now. That's going to be a really, really big offseason conversation. And look, did we know that Liam Cohen was going to be a great head coach? Nope, we didn't. But I mean, I said it last year, and I don't, I wasn't the only one. But, well, actually, I think in the media I may have been. But it's just, it is what I mean, you could see it coming.
We said it in the offseason that the only thing, well, he's not the only thing stopping the team, so we didn't get it completely right. But we said, in theory, the only thing that could slow down the Bucs from, at the very minimum, winning the NFC South would be Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
It's other things too, but he's at the heart of it.
Yeah. Miami's going to kill the Bucs with their tight end and running back if they want to win. I don't know if they want to win. Don't think the Glazers fire Bowles, says Bucs Skull Gang. Why? Give me a reason. Give me a reason.
Give me a reason for continuing on.
Yeah. Never had a chance so far. I said, meanwhile, a real coach and Dan Campbell takes the blame. Todd Bowles blames everyone but himself. Yeah, Todd's had a bad run with that. And I don't think he always does say we got to coach it better, but I think he has certainly given people the opportunity to say that he's throwing the team under the bus, which is not a good look. Let's just be honest with that. One more here. Very vanilla offense, says Will Jim 209. Yesterday reminded me of those Gruden offenses where they would pound the rock and throw short dump offs. Just awful. Yeah. And this is the team where the personnel demands that you throw the ball down the field.
Right.
Nathan Stout says Bowles F-bombs the team after the Atlanta game, but this is how the team responds to Bowles' leadership. Yeah, if he hadn't lost the team, he certainly lost the team with that.
Can I also put this comment up real quick?
Sure.
I thought I want to spend a lot of time on this subject, but I've seen some other people saying it too. The J-Stat Show says Jason Licht needs to be fired too. He has been signing and drafting bad players. He has not done very much without Brady. I can't agree with that they haven't done anything without Brady, because they had significant guardrails to work with after post-Brady. We all know that. And they overachieved the last couple years. Agreed?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I think we would agree that Jason Licht, under no circumstance am I showing Jason Licht the door. I think that would be a colossal mistake.
No.
Jason Licht, though, needs to fine-tune some things.
Oh, absolutely.
This offseason. And I think it starts with the over-believing in your own guys that you have. Like, they love to tout how, 85% of the roster is his draft picks and everything.
That's not necessarily a good thing when you're playing like crap.
But sure, these players have high floors and everything, but where are the high impact guys? You know, I feel like that's what you're missing. And you get into a situation where, like, I'll give Zion as an example. Zion McCollum was a 5th round pick. And because he played one half good season last year, because I don't think he played as well during the second half last year as he did in the first half. He had the one half season, and then he gets paid like a top corner in the league, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, that was a 5th round pick. You know, you've already won on that draft pick because you have a player that at least can start for you. That doesn't mean you have to go give him top money.
We totally jumped
when he's not that guy.
Totally jumped.
And that probably has happened in other situations too, because you believe too much in your guys, and maybe in your own arrogance, it's like, well, we got this guy in the 5th round pick, but he's not really that player.
No.
So that's what I mean by sort of fine tuning your philosophy and stop relying on, well, we're just going to go find these guys in the middle rounds of the draft and everything to get it done.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, Orestes Destrade will join us. We're going to talk some Rays baseball. We'll talk a little Lightning too, maybe mention some of the college football that went on this weekend. And we'll hopefully get back to some of the comments. I know we got a ton here, so many to get to. We really appreciate you guys jumping in, but we want to talk a little bit about some other things. So quick break, back on the other side. Rays talk. Shopping to get some of their great wings, take advantage of their happy hour. You got some friends in town? Well, why not go over to Riveters 3 to 7? They have the best happy hour in town. Fantastic staff there that will pour that ice cold hazy IPA that they make there. That is fantastic. The wings are off the chain. The food is fantastic. It's fresh. They don't freeze anything except the ice cream. So check it out. Riveters, just north of 275 and just south of the stadium right there on Dale Mabry. Back in 3. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man, Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing. Good to see my man PJ the other day, who runs Third Generation Plumbing over there, along with John Rodriguez. Great folks there. Big local Lightning fans, local Buck fans, and they do great work. HVAC work, plumbing work, whatever you need around the house. Third Generation Plumbing is the place to go. Just go to their website, contact them through there if you need any emergency services. They work hand in hand with American Standard Heating and Cooling, who have the best units. You do not want a substandard unit, folks, especially in Florida. They are the best units. They are the most reliable, the most efficient. American Standard Heating and Cooling and Third Generation Plumbing, your dynamic duo for all your HVAC needs. Just go to their website, thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and tell them JP sent ya. All right, we will talk Rays here in just a second when the Big O comes in. Couple things. College football. Shout out to Miami. Boy, that was a brutal game to watch. Very defensive, hard hitting, very physical game.
I don't know if it was. I mean, everybody wants to see offense naturally, unless it's your team, right? But I don't know. There was something about that game that I appreciated.
Yeah, it still felt dramatic and well played.
Like the game before it, like for example, the night before when it was Oklahoma, Alabama, that game was 34-24. I thought that game was ugly.
Sloppy.
Yeah. This game just felt like a battle of wills.
Yeah.
And a fight in the trenches. And I kind of appreciated that in a way.
Agreed. Yeah. How about Oklahoma blowing the lead? That was weird. Kind of weird in Alabama.
17-0 at home and you blow it.
Wow.
I give Alabama credit. I didn't think they had that in them
to
make that comeback. I thought they were. Now, I picked them to win the game because I thought it was going to be really difficult for Oklahoma to beat them twice in the same year. But getting down 17-0, having 12 total yards of offense or something at one point in the second quarter, I did not see them coming back from that. But Ty Simpson played like the Ty Simpson that we saw during the middle part of the season.
Yeah, that was a very that was a surprising outcome, especially given it. And, of course, everybody jumping on Twitter saying Alabama doesn't belong at 17-0. I might have been one of those. Nice comeback. Yeah, so Miami with a big win. And I didn't, those are the games Miami loses.
Right.
Those are the games Miami loses. Malachi Tony fumbles the ball. I'm like, see, there it is. There's the mistake. Now they're going to lose this game in the clutch. But Texas A&M just did not, just offensively, I thought the quarterback was a little skittish, and that comes from getting your head knocked in all game long. That Miami defense is, you want to see a physical defense, go watch that defense. They are physical, and they are fast, and they play hard. Offensively, I didn't like their plan much. Carson Beck is just meh.
Yeah, but Fletcher had a fantastic day on the ground for them.
Especially late.
That was big. I tell you what, A&M, I don't want to diminish what they did this year, but could you find a more irrelevant 11-2 season than what A&M just put together? Like, they won their first 11 games of the year. They had one signature win in there, and it was against Notre Dame. And you get credit for that, of course. When you go on the road and you beat Notre Dame, let's not forget that it was because of a botched snap on an extra point that allowed them to win that football game, okay? But still, you won the game. But after that, you beat a bunch of middle-of-the-road SEC teams. Then you lose by 10 to your rival in the last game of the season, and then you put up that effort, at least on offense, in a playoff game at home. 110,000 people. I can't find a more 11-2 season where you just got to feel like that was junk. Yeah.
I can't disagree with that. How do you go 11-2 and be kind of they had some nice pieces, but it didn't look good against Miami.
No.
That ACC is tough, though. ACC so is tough. Oof. Yeah, take that, SEC. Just a little something there. So listen. There was in the other two games with James Madison, and I mean,
can we stop though?
Yeah.
Can we stop going after James Madison and Tulane though? This is not their fault.
No.
And by the way, they got blown out. We all expected them to get blown out. Are you new to the playoff?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen how the playoff works? Do I need to go back to the first playoff game that was ever played? You remember it.
Oh, was that Oregon FSU?
It was. 59-20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jameis gave up the booty that day. Like
blowouts just
nobody's
happen.
Business.
Blowouts happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They always have happened, but because it happened to two G5 teams, now it's, well, they should be playing their own sport. They should have their own this, their own that. Relax. This to me, that's just so reactionary. You want to blame anybody, you blame the ACC.
Yeah.
You blame Miami for not taking care of business and allowing it to get to this point. It's not their fault. We don't need to
blame this stupid ACC
exactly.
tiebreakers.
You could blame conference tiebreakers. You don't need to blame JMU and Tulane for being there.
Yeah. So this Michigan story gets even more bizarre. So Sharon Moore, evidently now this investigation is coming out, has been like a serial stalker of women, constantly DMing OnlyFans models and all on company time at halftime, like bizarre. And then Matt Weiss, ex-Michigan coach Matt Weiss, shown on security footage at time of hacking attempts, feds say. So according to the feds and The Athletic, in December of 2022, this dude is going to Schembechler Hall multiple times that December, accessed athletes' personal accounts from their computers in the quarterbacks and tight ends meeting room to get sexually explicit videos and pictures. What the F is going on at Michigan? And you throw in all the spy scandal from Harbaugh.
They have to there needs to be a full investigation done from
Holy
the outside. Not I know they said they're doing like an internal investigation. I think there's got to be an external.
You want to talk about some scandal in the Michigan?
Yeah, there's actually an article.
Department.
There's actually a really good article that was dropped this morning by Bruce Feldman of The Athletic. And I don't know, what you're saying might have been included in there. I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing, but I kind of skimmed through it. And he said that they spoke with more than 20 people, including staffers, players, and women who interacted with him on social media. And it said they paint a picture of a coach who became increasingly volatile before his firing. And there's stuff in here about he would break down sobbing in staff meetings and lash out at other coaches, seen eavesdropping on closed door meetings inside Schembechler Hall. Staff members became concerned about his mental state. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here coming out now from players, staffers about his conduct so far. And I can't jump in his head and tell you what he was thinking when he's doing all this stuff. But I mean, come on, dude. You got the golden opportunity of a lifetime. I mean, first of all, you got a beautiful wife and you got children and everything. You got it made. You're the head coach of Michigan. Everybody would kill to be in that seat. And you blow it on stupid crap like this?
My question is, how do people not know what's going on?
That too.
I mean, to me, his relationship with his staffer had to be the worst kept secret at Michigan. I mean, come on.
Everybody kind of started saying it after it came out that, oh, yeah, this was going on for weeks. We all knew, excuse me, that this was coming, but nobody wanted to like talk about it out loud.
Well, of course, because recruiting is going on.
Yeah.
That is maybe, I mean, well, abusing women and hacking into their profiles and you know, the DMing and all this stuff. And I mean, that's horrible stuff, horrible conduct. But the fact that the institution itself covered it up until recruiting was done, I mean, holy hell. That's like, okay, yeah, we know all this stuff, but let's keep it hush hush as long as we get this recruiting class in here and then we're going to fire him. Wow. Michigan, all you people with, oh, I'm a Michigan man and our standards are above the rest. We're like an Ivy League school and we're Michigan. I'm a Michigan man. Woo. I mean, Florida State's got no room to talk. We suck at football, but what y'all are doing? Wow. Wow. That's new level. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing about it, but we are a disaster when it comes to a lot of things football on the football field. But man, come on in, Big O. Sit down. Everybody's waiting.
Laughing already.
Yeah, you need to be laughing. Yeah.
I'm laughing at that already. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh God, what a disaster. Yeah. How are you, partner?
I'm great, man. I'm super.
We got a lot of baseball to talk about, so
we'll be fine.
We'll be good. We're talking. Look, I know you've been watching college football over the weekend.
I have been. How could I not?
Shout out to your Miami Hurricanes.
How could I not? Where am I from?
You're from Miami.
Well, I'm actually from Cuba, but I'm
by way of
Miami.
Same thing. Miami, Cuba, same thing. Come on.
It is.
Miami's the capital of Cuba.
Is the same
Let's just
thing.
be honest. Let's be honest about that.
What a great weekend of football.
Well, not if you're a Bucs.
Well, not here.
If you're a Bucs fan. but I mean a lot of exciting games. I guess I'm going on the UM game because
that was the only good game.
That was the only good game.
Alabama, Oklahoma was a great game. It was
Actually,
fun to watch.
it was. Yeah. It was a fun game to watch.
The Miami game, we were just talking about it. It's like, even though it was low scoring, it felt like it was a really, physical, well-played football game,
On
but
both sides.
Clutch play, Malachi Tony. I mean, this kid is 17 years old.
Has he not turned 18?
Oh, he's still 17,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
Still 17.
And not highly recruited either.
No.
Not highly
What?
recruited. 3-star
out
guy.
of a major Miami high school.
Right.
Yeah.
3-star guy. Crazy.
Wow.
It's too small, right?
I love the
He's made every big play for them this year.
I love
needed.
Fletcher when they interviewed him afterwards, and he was talking about that he had made a fumble like that in high school.
Yes.
Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And he said, "Man, I did it again." And he goes, "Man, I got you. Come on now."
I got you.
And he got the ball again. And it goes to show you, just like in life, man. You know what I mean? You could fumble a lot of things, and then as long as the greatest advice was given to me by two different coaches. One was in high school, and one was in pro ball. The pro ball was Carlos Tosca, a Tampa.
Yeah.
guy. And Carlos Tosca, and it stuck with me at 19 years old. He goes, never fear failure, especially in the sport that I played in, which was baseball. So you can't fear failure, and you're going to fail, but you're going to get back up. And then the other one was by the legendary college coach who's back at the coaching ranks, Paul Maneri, who was a high school baseball coach of mine. And, and he was like, you're always going to get another chance. And some people might look at that and go, well, no, you might not get that. You're going to get another chance. You have to be ready for it.
Right. If your coaches are smart.
Yeah. And that was just a great display of fortitude and opportunity meets success.
Yeah. Come back and give it to him because he wants to make good. And that's
or opportunity meets talent, actually, because you got to have the talent.
And it's like, that is what good coaches do. And it's a culture of, listen, you make a mistake, we're not going to kill you for it,
right?
But we expect you to make up for it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to go to you again. And look what he did.
And obviously sometimes the time, the clock runs out on you, and that could happen too, because you can flip the script and think of the Aggies quarterback. His last play was if he throws it right, it was a tight window, but Bryce doesn't intercept that ball. So it's a tricky, slippery slope, but you always got to get up and you always got to get back at it. Now on our Bucs, I don't know about the getting up right now.
Nobody wants to get up.
It's
almost like they're done with it. They want to be done
that
with the
seems
season.
to be the problem.
There's no fight.
And you can accept that at the college ranks, even though it's a bitter pill. I mean, you're talking Florida State, you're talking Michigan. You're going to somewhat accept it because they're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old kid, 22 at the most. You can't accept that at the professional level when you're getting paid millions of dollars.
No, absolutely not. All right, let's talk some baseball here. Big weekend for the Rays. I'm just going to give you the floor. Everybody knows what happened. Brandon Lowe is gone. There's a collection of players, and a lot of us don't know who they are. I've done a little bit of, done my research over the weekend. There's a lot of good prospects that they got. I don't know if they'll ever play for the Rays.
Well, yeah, they might.
But they might.
I think a couple of them will. Listen, here's the deal with that, and you can look at it and be kind of shocked into thinking, wow, we gave up 4 major leaguers, basically, right, for 6 prospects. And don't forget, there's a competitive balance first round pick that would be the 33rd pick of the first round.
Right.
So there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
That could be a guy that we'd be looking at 3 years from now and going, okay, this is, this is, hey, remember that Brandon Lowe trade?
Yeah.
We got a 33rd
turned it
pick
into this kid.
turned it into so-and-so. So that happens more times than not when you don't really pay attention to things. Now, that being said, I still can look at it like, what's the next move? That's the key. What's the next move? So when you look at Brandon Lowe's contract at 11.5, you look at Shane Boz's contract, that's probably going to be somewhere around $3 million. That's 14.5. You look at
Fairbanks.
Well, no, let's put that one aside. I'm just talking about this area here. 14.5. Then you got Mangum and the young kid Mason Montgomery, which was a tough loss right there on that one too. By the way, this guy could be, for the Pirates, end up being, if he can figure out to spot that fastball. He hasn't yet. He gets hit around. He could be a closer extraordinaire, but worth giving up. Those 2 guys, let's just put it at a little shy of $2 million. That's $16.5 million. The guys that you brought in are mostly minor leaguers. Let's say all total $500,000 to $1 million. You've got about $15-16 million. Do you know how much Ketel Marte's contract?
I know
is this
exactly
year?
how much. $16 million.
$16 million. So when you look at the way the Rays notoriously over the last several years have done a ledger of, we got to take off this in order to add that. We're going to add that. We got to take off this. That's an interesting kind of dichotomy. But nevertheless, will they go after Marte? Is he going to be too expensive? But it does, at least the cushion has been created.
They have the money for it.
The cushion has been
Can they
created.
make the deal?
That. Can they make the deal? Ryan Pepio will definitely be involved in that one if I'm Arizona. And who else? Now, if you make that deal, I think that deal needs to be made because that is a transformational player. Mm-hmm. That's a guy that's a true run producer, has not been oft injured. You cannot have Richie Palacios be your second baseman to start the season for numerous reasons. Number one, production. Number two, even availability. He's been hurt a lot too the last couple of years. So now you're trudging around. If you go status quo, you're going with Taylor Wall's incredible defense, no offense. You take a chance on Carson Williams. You can't go in with those two guys being such suspect offensive players.
Right.
Great defense, suspect offense. So what does that leave you? By the way, now it's already, we've been talking about it for weeks, being bandied about that Chandler Simpson might be considered as an option at second base. So Could they be thinking about that and going, all right, we're going to give that shot to the kid. We need to give him 400 or 500 at bats so he can score 100 plus runs. That's an option, but I still feel that Ketel Marte is the catalyst, not just for this coming year, but for 4 or 5 years. He is the Wander Franco that they lost.
He's 32. So people have pointed that out, but he's a yoke 32.
He's a yoke 32, not slowing down.
His best 2 years in the big leagues have been since he's turned 30.
Exactly.
He's a proven playoff. I think he's got like a
20-game hitting streak in the postseason.
Proven there.
And oh, by the way, if you look at his splits, he hits the same right-handed and left-handed. In fact, a shade probably better against lefties than he does against righties. But as a former switch hitter, I can tell you hit 35%, from the left side because there's more righties are, of course, than lefties. That being said, then you need to have a thumper on the right side to protect the likes of even Yandy maybe hitting ahead. And definitely Caminero. You got to protect Caminero. You got to have that guy. Now, a lot of people feel like Ketel Marte is a leadoff hitter and stuff like that. Nah. I kind of look at him as a thumper and as a protector. If I see him, on deck, I got to be careful because he's such a quality run producing bat. Not, by the way, scores, upwards of 90 runs a game. So, a season. So that guy, and I can see him having productive years into 35, 36.
Yeah.
So that takes you into the legacy, forever home scenario. Because you got to be thinking about that as far as the outlay. Because it's 16 million, then it's going to be jumping up to 18 and 22. Yeah. Do you want to commit to that? You have to eventually with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And you look at like the division that you're in, it's always going to be an uphill climb in the division. We know that. Yes. And it's like Toronto just made the World Series. And they've added. And they've added. They've put their foot even further on the gas.
Probably will be back.
Yeah, and we'll see if they land like a Kyle Tucker.
That would be crazy.
The Yankees are always going to be there. The Red Sox made their move yesterday. Orioles are making moves. Like, it's a lot. And I think the rest of the AL, the Central got better last year. The West looks like it's going to be good. There's a lot that you're competing with. And if you add Ketel Marte in the lineup, at the minimum, your top four is Yandy, Aranda, Caminero, Marte. There's nobody there you could pitch around.
No.
And it might even help some of the other guys, like a guy like Josh Lowe. Yeah. That right there helps him tremendously too.
It's a great point, kid, because of the fact that as a former player, you got to have 4 to 5 guys that control the zone. If you're having all free swingers, you're going to be making all stupid outs a lot of times.
There's a lot of holes in the lineup.
There's a lot of holes that you can pitch around. So you got to have thumpers that also control the plate. Those 4 guys you just mentioned, and then throw in Cedric Mullins, if you already had, I think you did. But now is another guy that's going to be on the come as far as like, I got to have a productive season. You know what I mean? I've got an option for the next year, but there's an option out. So He's looking to try to get himself to the $15-20 million rank if he goes out and goes 30-30. Can he do that? I don't expect it. I really don't. But I do expect it from Ketel Marte. So that signing that trade is almost imperative for the Rays. But if they don't do it, then I have to seriously consider seeing the kid Chip Simpson show up in the camp with two different gloves, one a long one and one a short one.
And you can still address, and I don't have a problem with him at second as long as you go get a power bat in the outfield. That you've got to get one more power bat. Well, if it's Ketel Marte, that fits well. If it's not, then you've got to go get a power bat in the outfield.
Here's the catch. Again, they're still matriculating through what would probably be a 110. If we're lucky, they get to 120.
Payroll.
In payroll millions of dollars. Okay. We also need to go find that fourth starter, especially if we trade Ryan Pepio in order to get Marte. You got to throw in some monies. That's, you're going to offset the monies by what Pepio makes, right? Because Pepio's going to be probably in the 4 to 5 as an arbitration guy. So you're going to throw that money. Everything is about a ledger as opposed to other teams that don't worry about the ledger as much. So that piece gets moved, then you can sign the other piece. So they're going to have to go out after an Effling or a Littell, somewhere in that, realm.
I'd be fine with bringing either one of those
Me
guys
too, right?
back. Like I probably, Littell, I think, they traded Littell. Eflin obviously, left, and then he had some things to say after he left.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Hard feelings, whatever. I don't know how much that matters, but Littell, it just felt like you constantly knew what you were going to get with him. Just solid.
It's leaning towards him, I think, more.
Yeah, and I think he'd be cheaper than Eflin, if I had to guess.
Eflin would be cheaper.
Yeah, because the rotation is interesting because, at the top, like, you want to say that Shane McClanahan's going to be Shane McClanahan, but it's been over 2 years. You don't know. If you trade Pepio, then Rasmussen. Well, Rasmussen last year was the most he's ever pitched as a starter.
And he has to be a workhorse.
And he has to be a workhorse. Matz looks like he's going to get a look in there. And then you're left kind of with, Joe Boyle. Does he get better results, maybe pitching inside the trop? And as he gets more outings, Seymour's an option too. I like him a lot too. Kind of, solid kind of guy.
But how many innings are they going to give that?
Exactly. And you can never guarantee health. We've had many fantasy rotations for the Rays for years, and health has kept it from always coming to fruition.
Holy cow. You could look at two seasons ago prior to Shane actually going down the first time. And that was an impressive on paper, starting rotation that looked coming in, and then it went by the wayside. So I think that's the ledger becomes the issue as to whether they go all in on Ketel Marte, and the other part of the ledger, do you go all in on JT Realmuto and try to bring in a veteran catcher? The kid Bodine. I'm Cuban, so it would be Bodine. Like him a lot. Seen some video on him, but he's a few years out. He's not there yet. The other kid, Deegan, not there yet. You know what I mean? So I like picking up that kid, Bodine, because now you have two young catchers, lefty, righty, that could be your future going into, again, this whole kind of ledger meets legacy of the forever home.
Well, you're getting a lot of different names, a lot of different players, really talented players. Yeah. And let's just be honest, the more you get, the better chance you got of hitting on one of these kids. Because they've been
fortunate with that.
Yeah, you go look at Cal Raleigh, for instance. What is he, a 4th or 5th round pick, and was kind of a middling guy who just finally figured it out and became a freaking monster.
Right.
And the more hits you have, the more pitches you take, you might hit on somebody's catcher. So I don't mind that. But I think where people are at, the fans are right now, is like, oh, same old Rays. This ownership group doesn't have any money, and they're cheaping it out. They're getting rid of. I'm like, they've been here 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've been
here. Can we let them get through one off-season cycle and see what the team's going to look like before we declare them broke and the same as the last group? I think that's completely ridiculous. So let's wait till they're done.
And isn't the most important thing the most important thing that they could do right now is basically what's happening off the field, I could argue. But even at the same time, it's not like they're ignoring the on the field product. They haven't just like even at the winter meetings, like they brought in Mullins, they brought in Matz, like the Rays haven't usually been as active at the winter meetings.
Not at the winter meetings.
Like they're shuffling this roster
a
around.
couple little trades here and there.
Yeah, and they're shuffling the roster around. And honestly, when you have 2 years like you just had, that you were just sort of middling, kind of in the middle of the road, like you probably should shuffle up a little bit. So I kind of like that so far. But I think in general, the ownership, the most important thing they have to deal with is what happens off the field. Yeah, with the stadium stuff,
which is what they're doing. And there was some news on that as Bob Buckhorn did an interview with either Times or the Business Journal, and I was really pleasantly surprised at how aggressive he sounded about this and how optimistic he sounded about this deal. He's spoken at length with the new owners. I think we all know HCC is the site that they're really, really focused on, and he feels like from his comments that he's very optimistic. And if you remember back in 2018, he wasn't as optimistic about getting it done. Wasn't a big play. Well, yeah, but wasn't a huge player in it.
Right.
He sounds like very interested, and he's got a campaign to run on it. So this becomes a major issue for him.
Right.
And it feels like he's all in.
Yeah.
And to have the city all in and the county all in and this be a mega project, I think that looks really, really good.
And arguably the state all in.
Yeah,
too.
The state is in as well.
Yeah. So that's key.
No, I think there's a lot of positive things. And everybody wants news and they want things. Listen, it doesn't work that way. If you're doing it like the Atlanta Braves did it, everything was done under nothing was done in the public.
Right.
And that's the way these deals need to get done. Now you'll know when you need to know, but to get this stuff done at this level, it's better. The less you hear, the better.
I will say this, if the wishful thinking we're here, and the proverbial holiday season would be this great trade for Cattell, get some, as he was saying, Zach Littell, sign JT Realmuto. That's the wish list, because now you've really covered yourself.
Now you got a really good baseball team.
You got a great baseball team. Falling under that, you don't get Cattell, and you're going after Simpson to get him his at-bats, and does he look okay at second base where he played all through college? You still go out and get a Littell. Then it falls on, I think, the JT Realmuto, who he hasn't signed yet, is paramount. You know what I mean? So it's one of, the high wish list is, hey, let's get all three. Give up Pepio, but you get a Littell to, fill the void there, and you get a prominent catcher to lead you, and a potential every year MVP candidate in Marte. Holy cow. But falling short of that, you got to at least get 2 out of 3. Do you not agree?
I do. Do you think Cattell is you think it's all it's Cattell or nothing? Because, another name that I've heard kicked around that could be on the market is like a Brendan Donovan over in
Horner
in St. Louis. And Donovan, he's not the power threat even near it that Marte is. But
that's the problem.
That's probably the problem. But he's 28.
Neither are.
He's 28. And he's under team control for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And you kind of know what you're getting. You're getting a solid ball player who was an all-star, and he raises the floor of everything.
Right.
But he ain't a guy that's going to hit fourth in your lineup. That's going to be your leadoff hitter. It's a different profile.
You kind of have those guys scattered throughout the outfield already. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You kind of have those guys. I'm looking for a thumper to replace a thumper in Brandon Lowe.
So how you guys like this lineup? Simpson at the top. It hits 300 from both sides of the plate, and it will be a much better base stealer this year as he starts to figure everything out. Yandy Diaz, former batting champion, in the 2-hole. Caminero in the 3-hole with his 45 home runs. Marte, clean up, and you can go either way with the 3-4 there. Aranda, an all-star first baseman who's in 300. Mullins, we don't know what which Mullins you're going to get him.
He's going to be hungry.
Yeah, in his 7-hole, in his 6-hole, or Josh Lowe, who's, if he can return to anything like we think,
hungry too.
Yeah, should be hungry too. And then Rio Muto, whoever your catcher is going to be, and then your shortstop. If it's Carson Williams and he can clean up his strike zone and has that power,
I'm okay with that.
That's a hell of
that would mean lineup. That would mean that Simpson, you can hide him in left field. You know what I mean? You can hide him in left field. I'm super okay with that. If he struggles or whatever, then you got Fraley, you got
a lot of different.
You got Velotti.
I even think this Jacob Melton. They got in this trade. I think there's some potential 2020.
Oh, 100%. Beautiful swing.
Yeah.
Beautiful swing.
Just needs an opportunity.
Young, He's a lefty, struggled against lefties, can strike out a lot, but he's kind of basically Jake Fraley in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? He's kind of the same build, same potential player. Fraley's he's a little older and had more experience in the big leagues. But I like Melton a lot. I think that was a key pickup along with the catcher, Bodine.
All right, good stuff. We're going to do an hour of this baseball talk with the Orestes Destrade show coming up here at around 12:30, 12:45.
Where'd you find this kid?
He's the best.
He's
Nicky Numbers. You guys haven't met Nicky Numbers?
We haven't met in person.
Wow.
In person. Fantastic.
Bringing you all together in this Christmas season.
Hello. Happy holidays.
Yeah. All right, so thank you guys for
elf on the shelf over here with this guy.
Yes, up on the shelf. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. We'll be back at 12:45 for more baseball talk. You can watch it whenever. Facebook, wherever you guys want to get it, you know where to find it. That'll be the Big O Show coming up around 12:30, 12:45. We'll go live. So stick around for that. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you then.